Have you ever just sat there, staring at your computer screen, your finger hovering over the mouse, literally terrified to click submit? I mean, if you're transferring a massive amount of money, like your life savings for a house down payment, that fear is completely justified. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to master the Citizens Bank wire transfer process. We're going to take that fear and replace it with absolute confidence. So let's dive right in. Seriously, are you 100% sure that your $10, $20, or even $50,000 is going to the exact right place? We all share this universal anxiety when making massive payments. And honestly, there's a very good reason for it. Wire transfers are generally irrevocable. Basically, once that money is gone, it is gone for good. But hey, don't worry. We're going to bulletproof your process today so you can hit send without even breaking a sweat.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover overcoming wire transfer anxiety, prepping your transfer checklist, execution and minimizing fees, defending against wire fraud, some frequently asked wire questions, and finally, wrap up with final tips and disclaimers.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Overcoming Wire Transfer Anxiety.
So, wire transfers are basically designed to move heavy financial weight. We're talking sums well over $10,000, and they do it fast. Typically, domestic wires clear within just one single business day. That makes them the absolute ultimate tool for urgent, massive purchases. But that speed and power come with a catch. Precision is critical. Scammers absolutely love wire transfers because, like we mentioned, U.S. wire transfers are generally irrevocable. Now, there is a tiny caveat here. International wires, also known as remittance transfers, can sometimes be canceled within 30 minutes, but as a general rule of thumb, assume you cannot cancel it. That's exactly why getting it right the very first time is your only option.
Moving right along to Section 2, Prep your transfer checklist.
The details you need for your transfer completely change depending on where your money is actually going. If you're sending money domestically, say from New York to California, you're going to need an ABA routing number. That's just a 9-digit code that identifies a specific U.S. financial institution. But if you're sending money internationally, like to family overseas, an ABA number simply won't cut it. You're going to need a SWIFT or BIC code instead.
You can kind of think of a SWIFT code as a unique international passport for your money. It's a highly specific identification code that's required to safely route your funds through the global banking network right to that overseas bank. Literally, without it, your international transfer just cannot happen.
Okay, so here is your actionable checklist. You might want to screenshot this one. Before you even think about starting a transfer, you absolutely must have the recipient's full name and address exactly as it appears on their bank account. You'll also need their precise bank account number, the bank's contact info, and either that domestic ABA routing number or the international SWIFT code. Trust me, having all this gathered ahead of time completely stops you from scrambling and making a terrifying typo when you're filling out those forms.
Okay, let's get into Section 3, Execution and Minimizing Fees.
I really want you to pay very close attention to this number right here, $5,000. This is a massive, massive pitfall for people. If you're lounging on your couch, logged into the Citizens mobile app or online banking platform, fully expecting to just quickly wire a $50,000 down payment for a house, well, you're going to hit a brick wall. Citizens Bank restricts standard online and mobile wire originations to a daily maximum of just $5,000. It's frustrating, I know, but it's really there to mitigate fraud risk.
Because of that specific limit, you really have to choose your channel wisely. Step 1, always verify exactly how much you actually need to send. Step 2, choose how you're going to send it. If it's a domestic wire under $5,000, great. You can easily use the digital banking platform. Just locate the transfer feature right in your app. But if it's over $5,000 or if it is an international wire, you literally cannot do it online. You have to visit a local Citizens Bank branch in person and speak directly to a representative to submit the wire form. This step lets them perform strict identity verification to keep your money safe.
All right, let's talk about fees. Wire transfers are premium services, so they do carry a cost. For a standard Citizens Bank account, incoming domestic wires will run you $15. If you're sending a domestic wire digitally, it's $20. But remember, if you have to go into a branch for a larger domestic wire, that fee jumps up to $30. And for international wires, you're looking at a standard $50 fee right off the bat.
But hey, here's a pro tip for you. If you frequently send wires or deal with a lot of paper-based payments, take a good look at your account tier. Premium tiers like Citizens Quest Checking or utilizing the Citizens Plus loyalty program can often waive or significantly reduce these transaction costs. So it is absolutely always worth asking your branch rep if your account qualifies for reduced fees before you initiate that transfer.
Moving to Section 4, Defending Against Wire Fraud.
When it comes to security, we've got to be proactive. First off, if you're a business user, definitely restrict user permissions. Require one person to initiate a wire and a totally separate person to approve it. For absolutely everyone else, make sure multi-factor authentication is enabled on your digital banking right now. But honestly, the most crucial protocol here is dual-channel verification. If you get an email from a title company or even a friend asking you to wire money, never ever blindly trust the routing numbers in that email alone. Business email compromise is so rampant these days. Always pick up the phone, call a trusted, independently verified number for that person or business, and confirm the routing and account numbers verbally before you authorize a thing.
Fortunately, though, you aren't fighting fraud entirely alone. Behind the scenes, Citizens Bank adheres to incredibly strict security protocols. For instance, every single wire is checked against the Office of Foreign Assets Control, or OFAC, sanctions lists. If there's a match, the bank will immediately freeze or reject the wire. They also report exceptionally large transactions to the government under the Bank Secrecy Act. Now, these safeguards are there to protect the whole financial system, but your first line of defense is always your own verification. And obviously, if something goes wrong or seems even remotely suspicious, contact Citizens Bank fraud support immediately.
Now for Section 5, Frequently Asked Wire Questions.
A lot of folks ask, why on earth would I use a wire when I have Zelle right there on my Citizens app? And it's a great question. Zelle is fantastic for fast, daily, peer-to-peer payments, like splitting a dinner tab, using just an email or a phone number. But it has way lower transfer limits. Think of wire transfers as the heavy machinery of the banking world. They require very specific routing numbers and are purpose-built for moving massive, irrevocable funds, like buying real estate or funding a huge business deal.
Here's another super common and vital question. Is there just one single Citizens Bank routing number? The answer is a hard no. Citizens Bank operates across a bunch of different states, and if you hold accounts in multiple states, your routing numbers might actually be completely different. Always, always verify your specific routing number by logging into the Citizens mobile app, checking your account details online, or literally looking at the bottom left end of your physical checks. Please don't just guess based on a quick Google search.
Finally, we're at Section 6, Final Tips and Disclaimers. Okay, a really quick but super important disclaimer here. This explainer is strictly for informational purposes. Things like policies, exact fees, and cutoff times at Citizens Bank can and do change over time. It is totally your personal responsibility to double-check all your information, verify the exact current fees with your local branch, and consult a financial or legal advisor when you're making these massive financial moves. Always do your own due diligence before you hit authorize.
So we return to exactly where we started, but hopefully this time with a whole lot less anxiety. With the right prep checklist, a solid understanding of those digital versus in-branch limits, and totally unbreakable security protocols like dual-channel verification, you are right back in the driver's seat. So here's my question for you. With the right blueprint in place, are you ready to execute your next big transfer with absolute confidence? I definitely think you are. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy safe transferring.